The question is, are you ready?
What do you guys want to talk about?
Let me talk to you. Yeah.
Throwdown Nation, we are live. It is a Wednesday night, and we are here with episode 83 of the Throwdown with Matt. We are rolling on Instagram, YouTube, Twitter/X, Facebook, and Twitch. And tonight we are throwing down with an Austin, Texas-based wrestler and our resident star boy, Danny Orion.
Yes, sir.
How you
What's
doing
up,
tonight,
man?
sir? How you
Doing
doing?
all right, dude. Doing all right, dog.
Awesome. And one thing I'll go ahead and say for anybody that's watching this live, if you have any questions or comments, throw them in the chat, and we'll either tackle them as we go or we'll do a little Q&A session at the end. So
Sounds good.
we'll go ahead and start with the first and most obvious question, Danny, and that is, how long have you been wrestling?
Ooh, buddy, what is it? 2025. First match was January 2021, but I started training in, I want to say, September of 2020. So yeah, I just hit 4 years match-wise. Oh.
Nice. So who actually trained you?
Whew, buddy. Okay, so that's a loaded question. So I train at America's Academy of Pro Wrestling in Austin, Texas, run and owned by Ray Papadon Campos. But boy, there's so many people that came through and like trained within the time period that I've been there. I say one of the main ones for sure is Prince Adam, Lil Evil, as he's known in Texas. He's been like the main one. He's been really consistent. Anytime I need to get anything hard done, if I need to be pushed to the limits, it is Adam that I go to. But we've had so many guys come through. John Warsaw helped me from the very beginning. He is a like cornerstone of AAPW. Geez Louise, the list goes on, man. Like you have people that come in all the time and come help train. Geez Louise, there are so many people. But the main ones I'm going to give it to Adam and John Warsaw.
Gotcha.
Yep.
Something I didn't have a chance to tell you before we went live. We do something during these called the speed round game. And what it is basically, I've got a list of 10 names, and periodically I'm going to stop, I'll say speed round, and I'll name a name, and you just tell me the first things that pop into your head. It's basically kind of name association.
Oh, geez, I'm gonna have to walk in. All right.
Speed round. Ricky Starks.
I hate that guy. Help train. He's one of the names. I didn't want to get on here and just name drop, but yeah, he helped trains. He comes by APW a lot, and any questions, anything you need help with, dude, he is always right there, and he's gonna help you train.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
It was definitely an exciting moment to see him show up on NXT last night.
Yeah, dude, like that. Oh, geez, if people knew like how hard and how long that guy's been wrestling and like how hard he gives. Are we allowed to curse on this?
Yeah.
Gives a bleep. If people knew how much he gives a shit, like you'd be surprised. Like you would have thought he would have been somewhere like a lot sooner. So to see him on NXT, dude, it's so cool. So
Oh yeah,
cool.
yeah, and to have the whole thing turn around as quickly as it did, because word got out yesterday that he was no longer on the AEW roster, and then that
Yeah.
evening he's in NXT.
Yeah, he just won the Defy title. Yeah, he just won
Yeah,
the title in Defy.
yeah. So
So goated. So goated.
good for him. I
Yeah.
mean,
Deserves a lot, man. That dude is one of one in professional wrestling. So I hope he's gonna get like everything he deserves.
absolutely. And I mean, the thing that's going to be interesting is, how well NXT and the WWE system did with Ethan
Mhm.
Page.
Yeah. Yeah.
Making him into the star he should have been all along.
Yeah.
And I have a feeling they'll do the same thing with Starks.
I feel like with Ethan Page, that dude has been like killing it. Like I only knew about him. I only came of like I only knew who he was because of TNA.
Hmm.
But if you look at all the stuff from TNA, that dude was like he was on it. Like he was on it from TNA, and
Hmm.
then he got to AEW, and there's a lot of stuff going on in AEW. So like it makes sense why some people maybe don't get enough screen time that you think they should.
Right.
But even when he was in AEW, he was doing like good stuff. And he gets to
Oh yeah.
NXT and they pick up on that kind of stuff. They capitalized very, very fast on Ethan Page. And I hope they do for Ricky, dude. Like Ricky deserves to be on top, like no matter where he goes. So
Yeah.
no tribal. Hey,
And
all these
yeah.
wrestling tribalists. I'm not saying AEW is
Oh
bad or NXT is bad. I love all wrestling. I'm
no.
just saying that these
No.
people hopefully they get used in a good way.
No tribalism here, man.
Yeah,
I am pulling for all wrestling
yeah,
companies to
man.
do well.
Yeah, yeah.
So anyway, so in terms of the early portions of your training,
Mhm.
what was the most challenging aspect of wrestling for you to wrap your mind and body around?
Oh, dude. The moment you said that, I already knew. Slowing down, dude. Uh, I'm just like a speed bag. Like I just want to go. Like I just want to get the thing and just do it. Like if you teach me something, I want to do it as fast as I can and like as snappy and as quick as I can. But it took me a long time to learn that. In wrestling, maybe you need to slow things down a little bit so people can kind of like clock the thing you just did, so they can understand like what you're doing. Like I consider myself like a somewhat of an athlete. I feel like I'm pretty good. I'm pretty athletic. So in my head when I first joined, I'm like, oh dude, I'm gonna do everything so quick and just like show how real athletic I am. And it's like, you do that and you're not on the same pace with the person you're in the ring with. You throw things off, someone can get hurt, fans can't understand. So it took me a long time, a real long time to be like, hey, it's cool to go a little bit slower than you can really go.
Right, right. I was never in the military,
Hmm.
but I've got a number of friends that are or have been, and there is a saying in the Navy SEALs: "Slow is smooth, smooth
Yeah.
is fast."
Yeah. No, dude,
Yes,
and it's so real. I'm
yeah,
experiencing it. Like I'm 4 years in, and even now I'm still kind of like figuring that out because a lot of things I'm just like, but how much cooler? Like I come up with something or someone will come up with something, and I'm like, but how much cooler would it be if I just went so fast? If I just blazed through this real quick? And so like I'm still learning now, but dude, that couldn't be more true.
yep, yep, and and that saying applies to so many things in life. I mean,
Yeah. Yeah.
slow is smooth, smooth is
Yeah.
fast. I mean,
Hmm.
that's but so I love the idea of the whole Starboy gimmick.
Yeah.
How did that come about?
Whoo, buddy. So, I actually have this little book right here next to me. I keep it on my desk over here, and I like to go through it sometimes. But so when I originally went to college, just like any stupid early 20-year-old dude, like you're obsessed with space, and I really wanted to get into that. So I was finding classes that I could take that could get me into astronomy, astrophysics. And I was taking all those and I just got really obsessed. So like I used to read this book so hard and so heavy. And I still go through it now every once in a while. But so yeah, from an early age, obsessed with stars. Another thing on top of that is I love The Weeknd, the artist, The Weeknd, musician. I love almost all of his music. And so he has an album called Starboy. So that was the easy pick. And yeah, and then I got into wrestling training, and it was getting time for me to debut and come up with a name. And I felt like I was just that good. I was like, dude, I'm gonna be the star. Like I'm the star of this place. So what better way to encapsulate that than calling me Starboy, you know?
Awesome. Yeah. Well, you know, you had mentioned just a few minutes ago, you know, a guy named Little Evil.
Yeah.
And, you know, for people that are not familiar with you and are not familiar with kind of what you do, I found a short on YouTube of you taking on Little Evil. And I'm gonna share my screen and play that just so people can get a taste of what you do.
Okay, I wonder.
Are you good with that?
Yeah. I'm wondering what it would be. I don't. A YouTube short, huh?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and share my screen and throw it up here.
Oh, geez, Louise! I can't wait to see what this is. Oh yeah.
Both superstars here.
Horrifying.
And Spring gets caught by Little Evil.
Oh, I posted
Orion
this.
Explodes. Oh, wait a second. What a huge Hurricane Rana. Really well scouted, but wait a second.
Well, Danny Orion using those educated feet.
Oh my goodness.
That rocked him.
Oh my goodness, what a huge reverse. Why he's done what he's done, and oh my goodness, oh my lord. Handspring. Oh, whoa, wait a second. Oh my God.
Little Evil catches him.
You gotta be kidding me, my God.
Up to 19.
Oh, made it to break the count. Oh my lord. Danny Orion back on the offense. Moonsault.
Oh, that was one of my prettiest ones.
Oh my goodness! Wait a second! The athleticism between both superstars here.
Oh my goodness. I forgot I posted that. That's so funny. Oh, geez Louise.
Yeah, man, that I ran across that earlier today, and I've watched it, you know, 2 or 3 times, man.
Nice.
And it's just such a good showcase of what you can do. I mean,
that's really awesome. When I post highlights like that, I'm just like, what do I think is cool? Like, what would I laugh at? What do I think is like exciting? Like all that. I don't know. That's really cool. And I can't even remember when that was. That was a while ago. That match. Jeez Louise. The only thing I thought, really, the biggest thing I thought about when I was watching that was how much different my hair was than what it is now. I got a haircut in between, and now it's shorter, and it's not like as like thick. Oh, geez Louise. What have I done?
But I mean, you know, watching that though, I could just tell the chemistry you and Little Evil have. I mean, you guys were playing off of each other so well. I mean,
some of that stuff in that clip I had never even done up until that point. Like never even. He's probably gonna hate to hear this, but like some of that stuff I don't even practice. I didn't practice for or like train. I was just kind of like, I kind of feel like doing this today. But like I know Little Evil is such a professional, so I'm like, it'll work out. Like so it'll all work out.
Right. So I'm presuming that you've been a fan of this stuff the majority of your life. Is that pretty accurate?
Maybe. You know, I feel like all of us who are in wrestling now were mega fans, super fans even, of professional wrestling when we were kids. And I was definitely that. But there came a point in time where I kind of let, you know, the mob get to me, you know, the crowd get to me. And I started hearing, hey, you know that's fake, right? That's all fake. And I kind of just bought into that. And I was like, oh man, real sports is where it's at. And so I kind of like left wrestling for a while. But then one of my best friends, his name is Brett Hardigree, kept kept up with wrestling, and we were in, I think it was my junior year. He just kept talking about like Jeff Hardy or like John Cena or like this new group, The Shield. And he started to draw me back in, and I kept like looking up old highlights and, went from there. So I'd say there was a gap where I was, wasn't keeping up with wrestling anymore. But man, if I had to put in percentage, it'd be like 55% of my life, maybe 60% of my life I was a fan, and maybe 30% I kind of fell off a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah, gotcha. I mean, I think that's pretty much true for all of us. There are always spans of time where you're not really paying attention. But what would you say is your earliest wrestling related memory?
Oh Jesus! My mom likes to tell the story all the time, but if it isn't obvious, I love Jeff Hardy so much. If you go through my Instagram, you see me doing like wild stuff all the time. Big Jeff Hardy coded fan. And I have two little brothers who also love wrestling and love the Hardys and Edge and Christian and the Dudleys. And we would always go back, and we were broke. So like we couldn't afford pay-per-views. I don't even remember how old we were whenever WrestleMania, 17 happened with that tables, ladders, and chairs match.
Yeah.
But we would go on YouTube all the time and just type in like the highlights for that. And then we had the video game. We got lucky enough to get the video game, and we would always jump off the ladders onto the tables. And for Christmas one year, my mom bought us a like round Spider-Man table, and we were already wrestling in our room, and we would slam each other on it, and it would never break. And then for some dumb reason, we climbed up our top bunk, and we gave each other like a suplex, an avalanche, like a superplex off the top bunk through that table. And I don't know how. I have no idea how our mom did not hear this, but like we broke it, and we were like, yeah, and then we were like, oh. And so we God, and I'm the oldest, so I'm masterminding all this. I'm making them do this stuff. This is all my fault. I'm here to admit this is all my fault. So I'm masterminding. I'm like, yo, let's get the table, and like you grab this leg and I'll grab this leg, and like let's go. And we lived on the top floor of this apartment, so like we're 3 stories up. And so it's just like these like stupid 5 3-year-old, 4-year-old kids carrying down this like broken to pieces Spider-Man table. And we kept that a secret from our mom for up until I was a senior in high school. I was like 7 when that happened, maybe. And she had no idea. She was like, I always wondered, like, how did you lose that Spider-Man table? And I was like, well, wouldn't you like to know? You can't harm me now. You can't ground me now. So here you go. Geez Louise, dude. Yeah. A little deviant back then.
What did she say when you told her the truth?
Her mouth was open the entire time. She was like, whoa. She was like, you guys were the smallest kids that like I've ever seen in my life. Like, how did y'all manage to 1, go through the table, 2, me not hear it, and 3, get it out the house and in the dumpster without me never knowing for all these years? She was like, and it was at Christmas, your family's around, so everyone's laughing, and my mom's the only one not laughing.
Yeah.
She was the only one not laughing.
That's pretty slick.
Dude, that's what I'm saying, man. I had it back then, dog. I lost a little bit of it now. I'm trying to get it back.
Yeah.
Young Danny was on different timing, man.
Absolutely. So do you remember a particular point where your fandom kind of shifted and you started thinking, I think I could actually do this?
Absolutely, dude. So I was living in my hometown of Amarillo. And I had just recently gotten back into wrestling thanks to my friend Brett Hardigree. And I just started getting these pop-ups for like random like wrestling shows. I didn't know what indie wrestling was at the time. And it was Kenny Omega and ACH at PWG, and they redid Rock and Stone Cold. And I just kept looking up. I was like, dude, there's different types of wrestling, and that put me down a whole rabbit hole.
Oh yeah.
Working at my shoot job, Burlington Coat Factory at that point. And like it was a day where we got to wear our own wrestling shirts, and I found out what Bullet Club was. So I had my the Elite Bullet Club shirt on, and this dude walked in. He had a Hulk Hogan shirt on, and I was like, "Oh, dude, wrestling's sick!" And we started talking about it. And he goes, "Well, yeah, I'm a pro wrestler, right?" And I'm like, "What? Like in Amarillo?" And he's like, "Dude, we got our own show here. Like we run like pretty much like bi-weekly." And he invited me out, and so messed up, but during the middle of that show, my math tutor was on the show, and I was like, "What the hell?
Really?
Like, hell, what are you doing?" And I was like, "Dude, I'm athletic. Like, I can do this. Like, I love wrestling. Like, I love everything wrestling has to offer. Like, I can definitely do this." Talked to him a little bit, and he was like, "Well, you could train here, but I think the training would be better for you further down south in Texas. So if I were you, I'd move there if you really want to do it." And yeah, after that talk, I was like, "Dude, I'm gonna do this. Like, I'm gonna get in the ring. Like, I'm gonna do something in wrestling." So yeah, a little indie show, Amarillo, Texas, top of Texas wrestling.
Awesome.
Yeah, dude.
So away from wrestling, what are some of your other hobbies and interests?
Oh, dude. Okay, so I haven't been doing it as much recently, but I love playing basketball when I get the chance. If I ever get the chance, I'm gonna go play basketball. It was flag football for a long time. Love flag football. But if not that, it is video games, and some movies. Yeah, like the friend group I have outside of wrestling, like we all bonded over being able to play video games. We'd get home from like football practice, and the first thing we're doing is like, "Yo, hop on Xbox, get on. Let's go run some COD real quick." So yeah, it's definitely any sports and any video games right now for sure.
Gotcha. Speed round.
Oh, jeez.
Jordan Grace.
Strong. Oh my God. Strong and charismatic. Dude, she has I've never met her in person, but like you can just feel through the screen of like someone who's just like charismatic. And then you see her like social media presence. She is one of the funniest people on social media. Like she doesn't take herself like way too seriously. She's just always having fun. So okay, strong and charismatic. Strong and charismatic for sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So you were mentioning movies and such. You know, we're mostly a wrestling show, but we do dabble a little bit in pop culture. So have you watched or are you watching anything cool right now? I'm always looking for recommendations.
Oh, geez. Nothing new right now. Well, I guess Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man on Disney Plus. I'm keeping up with that right now. I'm like 2 episodes behind. I've been so busy. But goodness me. No, I haven't picked up anything new recently. But what I have been doing is I've just been going through the old MCU, the Marvel movies. I've been going through a bunch of those, and I just finished Guardians of the Galaxy 3. Yeah, man, nothing new. Jeez Louise. Yeah, I'm kind of slacking.
You know, it's been kind of fun. My 15-year-old son has recently kind of expressed an interest in Marvel.
Yeah.
So he and I have been watching the Marvel movies in the chronological order. You know,
not like the timeline order.
Yeah.
Oh, nice. I want to do that so bad.
And it's been fun. We haven't gotten that far yet, but it's been fun kind of rewatching a lot of these and watching them in the timeline order.
Yeah,
you know, because it makes some things make a little more sense.
Yes,
you know?
I want to go through and do that so bad. But I don't want to do that alone because like I feel like it's more fun to watch movies with other people so you guys can like talk about it. Yeah, I just need to coordinate time, man, because that is a time time-based thing. Like you got to commit some time to that. So I just need to find a moment to go and do that. Captain America: Brave New World's coming out at the time that we're doing this. Like what, in a few days? I can't wait to go see that.
It's coming out Friday.
Yeah, I can't wait for that.
Yeah, it looks good. I'm interested to see what they're gonna do with Red Hulk. I mean,
dude, there's so many things they can do with that. I am so pumped. I might just go see that by myself. Might not tell my friends because I know that seats are selling out. I may just go grab a seat on my own.
Yeah, you might.
I want to go see that.
Yep. And the new Daredevil series.
Yes. I need to get on that.
Born Again is coming out. There's just so much cool content coming out, and it's hard to find time to consume it all. I mean,
dude, yeah. Oh, geez, Louise, just going around everywhere, trying to go lift, trying to get your food, keeping up with like your personal life along with your wrestling life. Like it is such a time crunch, such a time
Right,
crunch.
right. Well, before we went live, we were talking a little bit about a little bit about pop culture, and
Yeah.
we got to talking about The Walking Dead, and you were mentioning that you actually got to be in Fear the Walking Dead. So
Yeah.
tell us that story.
Man, so I had only been wrestling like on America's Academy Pro Wrestling show. America's Academy Pro Wrestling show for like maybe like 3 months, dude. Like just so new. And Fear the Walking Dead was like near Austin and they were putting out like casting calls and our school got hit with that. They wanted to use our wrestling ring as a set piece. I can't remember which
Mhm.
episode it was. Hopefully someone will find it, but so at first I got asked to go help build the ring.
Okay.
And so me and one other wrestler went out there and they were like, "Oh no, we don't want like a real wrestling ring. We kind of like want it to look droopy and like look beat up and stuff." And so, dude, me and this other wrestler, one of my vets, we went out there and we built a ring, just us two, a newbie and a dude that had only been wrestling. I think he only been wrestling for like 2 years at that point, so he's still pretty new as well. We were out there for maybe like 8 or 9, 10 hours building this ring bar up like from scratch.
Yeah.
And I remember being so mad because we finally put on the ropes is the last thing we put on and we made them droopy like they said. And the lady came over, the set designer came over and she was like, too droopy. And I looked at him, I was like, bro, I'm going home. Like there's no way we've been out here and they have not monitored us for us to like do this all over again. Because putting those ropes on was like so hard. You gotta put cable through like a hose and make sure it's the right length so when you put it on, it's not like too low and touching the ground.
Right.
Jesus Louise. So there was that. And then after that, I got casted to be like a gardener on a roof. They like one of the villains in the series had like captured some prisoners and he had like his own community up on this roof. And me and that guy that built the ring were both gardeners and they made the mistake of putting us together. We were in the background obviously, but geez, we're like like they say they start the scene and they make it loud so everyone knows, and immediately I'm trying to break him, but like I'm so stupid. I'm like laughing before I even say anything. So every time I start laughing, I have to like duck my head down or I have to like duck underneath this thing we were working on. And yeah, it was just a good moment. But yeah, I got casted to be in Fear the Walking Dead for some reason. My poster was probably
Very
up in
cool.
one of the scenes too. They took wrestling posters, like they took our headshots and they like enlarged them for a scene, put them up like in this building on a set. So maybe I'm out there somewhere. My dumb, bland wrestling look from 2021 is out there somewhere.
Very cool. Very cool. Being here in the Atlanta area, my wife and I went down to Sonoya, which is where they filmed a lot of the original series at.
Yeah.
And we went down for one of the Walking Dead tours.
Okay.
And so they basically take you through the town and basically take you to where a lot of scenes were filmed. And
That's so cool.
what was interesting is when we were down there, they were filming I think it was like season 6 or season 7. It was when they were basically in the war with Negan.
Yeah, dude. Oh, you came in at peak times.
And so we parked our vehicle and we're walking over to where the tour was going to start, and you can hear gunfire.
That's so cool. Or scary, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, it was like wow, and they had like certain parts of the town like blocked off, so the tour, they had to sort of rearrange the tour because there were places we couldn't go because they were filming.
Yeah, dude, that's so cool.
Yeah, it was neat. It was really neat.
Jeez Louise.
So you said you're from Amarillo.
Yes, Amarillo, Texas.
So what is your favorite thing about Amarillo?
Oh, that is a very good question. I can tell you there's a lot of things not to like about Amarillo. But It's a tie between the food and the like the high school sports there.
Mm-hmm.
So food wise, dude, like anything you can think of, like food wise, like you're probably gonna find it in Amarillo. The Asian food is so good, so good in Amarillo. I
Mm-hmm.
didn't appreciate it enough while I was there. But geez, the high school sports is so cool. Like being involved in it, you see how much everyone like cares so freaking much. Everyone cares so much. Um, and it's just cool to see that passion because, like, in Amarillo, you're at the top of Texas in the Panhandle,
Right.
so you're not getting as much like screen time, or as harsh competition as you would get if you were like in Central Texas or in South Texas. So
Right.
seeing those kids play like as hard as they do, and then getting the chance to come like down this way where I live now, like in Austin, and seeing them play their hearts out and like getting results, it is so cool and so fulfilling to see.
Gotcha. So
Yeah.
what sports did you play?
In high school, I just played football, but like growing up, it
Mhm.
was a lot of basketball and football, and like tried some track. Found out I was not that type of athlete, but a lot of it was football and basketball. Got to high school and just football.
Gotcha. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah, my son is a lacrosse player, and
Those guys are hardcore.
he loves it, man.
Yeah. Those guys are hardcore, man.
He's been playing since he was in 6th grade, and he's a sophomore in high school now, and he loves it. I mean,
I can't even like.
he's actually on a lacrosse trip right now. They're down in Savannah, down on the Georgia coast.
Nice.
Down there to play a couple of games, and then they'll be back home on Saturday. So,
dude, lacrosse is such a you have to have like a insane mindset to want to play lacrosse. Like you can get trucked, you can get juked. You have well, I don't know how big the ball is, but like
it's
a decent sized ball, like
ball.
whiffling at you, and then you have like this small little area to like catch it in. Jeez Louise.
Yeah.
And you're running like a soccer player, like come on, dude. You gotta be a crazy man.
You've got to be absolutely insane to want to be a goalie.
Yeah. I mean, oh, geez, dude. I played in middle school. We had like a free day, and all of us dudes, we wanted to get out and just go play like sports or do something like football or something like that. We didn't have a football, so the closest thing we had was soccer. So I was like, man, I'd outrun all y'all. Let me play goalie. Dude, this guy broke away by himself, and it was just me. And I was like, oh shit, it's real. This is real. This is what they feel. This is what it's like. And he kicked it at me, and I tracked it down and I caught it, but I caught it in my like gut, in my chest. I caught it and just fell over, and it was just like on the ground, just couldn't breathe for like so fucking long. So
it's no joke. It's no joke.
From that moment on, because at that point, you're a kid in middle school, so you're like, no, football is like the gnarly sport. After that, I was like, I'll never shit talk any other sports. Like there's I have no room. These guys are for real, the real deal. Like never again.
Yep.
God.
Absolutely. So, they say that the best wrestling personas are usually your yourself turned up to 11.
Yeah.
So tell me about in-ring Danny Orion and kind of compare and contrast him with everyday you.
Yeah, well, in-ring Danny Orion, like you said, it is just me turned up to like 15 or 20, because in-ring Danny loves to hear the crowd make some type of reaction, no matter what I'm doing. And I like to show off when I can. I like to show I'm athletic. I like to show I'm better than you. Ultra competitive. Will make a joke out of myself or my opponent in the ring, or even the fans in attendance. And Danny IRL, I'm the same way. I am ultra competitive. I'm not gonna like, in-ring Danny will spit in your face. IRL Danny will just silently be more competitive to you, unless you ask me, then I'll be a little bit more loud. They're almost one and the same. One just needs to be a little bit more showboaty and more showmanship and maybe take more risk. And the other is a little bit more laid back, but we'll turn it up if need to.
Got you.
Yeah.
Speed round.
Oh shit. Okay.
Shinsuke Nakamura.
Oh, swaggy. So swaggy. Oh my god. Oh my god. when I first started watching New Japan, Shinsuke was one of the first people I gravitated towards. And when I found out
Mhm.
like one of his muses was Michael Jackson, I was like,
Yeah.
oh, this dude he's so cool. He's so
Yeah.
every movement he makes in his entrance, the vibe he puts off when he's in the ring. Oh, so swaggy, so swaggy, so swaggy.
Very much a showman. And
Yeah, love
you
Shinsuke.
know, and I love this this new look, new persona he's doing right now. You know, the kind of crazy Ronin samurai type of
Yeah,
thing. Yeah, it's
dude. Anything that
very
gets him to
cool.
keep that title,
Yeah,
anything he can do to keep that title, I am all for. Shinsuke can do no wrong in my eyes. No wrong
yeah,
in my eyes. Love Shinsuke.
absolutely, absolutely. So, tell us about your very first match. What was it like? What was it like? How did it go? What were your thoughts going into it? Thoughts coming out of it? Lay it on us.
Yeah, so at the time, I was a cameraman for a wrestler that was there. He was also like helping train. I was his cameraman, and he was, the bad guy
Mhm.
at the time at our school. And yeah, so it all led up to him like crushing people. He had one of the titles on the show. He was just crushing people left and right, and I was his cameraman documenting everything. And there was a week where the Papa Don was like, "Okay, we're going to debut you this week, and we're going to do it to where you get called out while you're holding the camera for him. So like you're in your regular street clothes, and you're going to have some like athletic stuff on underneath." And I remembered what the tell was for me to be like, "Oh, me? Like what? You want me to, uh and hearing the guy cut the promo, I was like, "Oh shit, like this is real. This is so
Yeah.
real." And it happened. I remember this, and I have not felt anything like this to this day. As he was getting closer to saying the word, my ears started ringing, and like my peripherals just turned white, and all I could focus was on him. It was like this sliver of like this is all I could see, and it was just him standing in the ring. And then he looked over at me and he said it, and I didn't hear what he said. I just knew that, I knew what the tell was. And dude, my body, I'm talking about it and I'm starting to shake right now because I'm starting to feel it again. And it wasn't like a nerve, like I guess it was a nerves thing technically, but I was just so like ready and like just wanted to go and just do it.
Yeah.
And it was so stupid. Like I went down to like the timekeeper's table, and like I took off my shirt and my sweater and my pants, and I had on this like stupid like long sleeve Under Armour fit, stupid Under Armour like tights, and my stupid wrestling shoes, and like some
Mhm.
thin, the dumbest knee pads you could possibly get. And my hair was all frayed out and froed out. Oh my god. Oh my god. But it went good. It went good. I think we only went like 4 or 5 minutes, and I didn't mess anything up from what I can remember. Yeah, geez Louise. And then after the match, goodness me, I remember going home that night and I could not sleep. I just sat up in my bed, like no TV on, not on my phone. I just sat there for a while and was like, what the fuck just happened?
Yeah. Adrenaline is a hell of a drug.
Like
I
I've
mean,
never experienced before in my life. It was insane. Insane.
yep.
Jeez
So,
Louise.
so we've heard about the first match. Now, if you can narrow it down, tell us about your favorite match that you've been a part of.
Okay. That's gonna be hard, man. I go back and forth on this a lot. What is my favorite match right now that I've had? I say one of my favorite matches I've had at this point in time. I wrestled Starboy Charlie
Mhm.
in at Inspire AD. Well, they're Inspire Victorious now in Austin, Texas, in my home promotion. And for the longest time, people were always been like, "Oh, Starboy Charlie, Starboy Danny Orion," making a thing out of it. And it
Right.
finally happened. And it finally happened. And I got to meet him for the real first time. And
He
he's so
seems like a
cool,
good dude.
dude. He's so cool and so chill, and he's funny as hell. He's just there to have a good time. And
Mhm.
like when going over the match, we had so many ideas that we were like shooting more stuff down, or like we put so much into this match and we didn't have enough time for it all. So we had to spend more time taking things out. And like it was, dude, it was so fun. a combination of like character and like athleticism. It was like everything I've ever wanted in wrestling in that moment. Can I choose 2 more matches as well that are up there?
Absolutely.
Okay. Another match is against this girl, Maya World. We had a match at Inspire as well. We've had 3 matches. But we had one at Inspire and one in Dallas called VIP Wrestling, the first 2. And those matches were like chemistry off the charts. Like everything we wanted to hit, we hit. It was good. Crowd was into it. Everything went off without a hitch. It was awesome. And then my third would be, oh boy, okay, this is gonna be hard. At Action Wrestling, I'm forgetting his name. He's the duck guy, Rob. It's Rob something. Oh geez, Louise. Oh, okay. You know what? Actually, this is really cool. I have a wrestling book where I have all of my matches on.
It's not Rob Killjoy, is it?
Rob Killjoy. Yes. I haven't talked to him in so long. I had Rob Killjoy, and you want to talk about someone who's a professional wrestler, dude? He can do literally anything you need. And I get there in Atlanta, and like I'm super happy to be there, and like I'm so jittery, and he just takes me aside and he's like, oh, what do you do? Like, I saw you do this. You can do this. Okay, cool. And he put the match together in like 5 minutes.
Yeah.
And we go out there and everything hit without like nothing going wrong. And it was like a mix of athleticism and a mix of character. And the crowd was into it because they were into him. So fun. I love that match so much. So yeah, we got Starboy Charlie, Maya World, and Rob Killjoy. I wanted to call him Rob Duckman because he does duck stuff, but that was so wrong. No disrespect to Rob. I love Rob. He's so cool.
So, and I know everybody has them, but what is your biggest in-ring pet peeve?
Oh, that's a good one. I have a few.
Okay.
It is, you know what it might be in this moment right now is anytime someone does a move and they automatically hit this and they're just like arms out and they just like walk around and they do that and then they get back to it. It's like, bro, you just did a body slam. Like I've been seeing that for like 50, like we've seen a body slam for 50 years, bro. Like chill out. Like please do something else. Right now it's putting the arms out and like turning around in a circle and looking at everyone. I can't stand it.
Yeah, I mean, you
gotta be charged up.
If you're gonna do the pomp and circumstance, at least have done something amazing. Don't just body slam.
Please, I'll take a drop kick. But if you're gonna do a standing elbow drop or like a standing body slam, like oh geez, you got me fired up, dog. Oh my god. Yep. Oh my god.
So I know that there are sort of 2.5 different ways to kind of prepare for a match. You can either work it out with your opponent in the back, you can call it in the ring, or you can kind of do a hybrid of both.
Yeah.
Do you have a preference?
I say I would lean more towards calling it in the back, just because I want to make sure we're on the same page and like we have the same mindset going into it. I'd lean more towards that one, and then I'm kind of leaning between that one and hybrid because I do like a lot of times of just like feeling it out because you never know how a crowd's going to react. So you need to be able to switch up on the fly. So if you have a hybrid where you get like a framework and you get the most important things and everything before that or in between those things, it's like we'll see what the crowd's feeling like. We'll go off of that.
Yeah.
But I cannot do. Unless it's like a very good friend or someone I know really well, the latter, which is like we'll call it out there when we get out there. I had that one time in Kansas, and it was the worst match. This dude had a screwdriver in his kick pad, and he didn't tell me until after. And he was like, "Yeah, if anything goes wrong, like I use this," and he pulled out a screwdriver, and I was like, "I am like not a threat to you, guy. Like, look at me. I say I'm from Tinder.com. Is that a threat? Is that a threat to you? Like, you're not gonna use a screwdriver." Ever on me. So yeah, I'm leaning towards those other ones.
Yeah. But you were mentioning, reading the crowd. it always kind of reminds me back to, you know, the match with Hogan and Rock, where they basically read the crowd and did the double turn on the fly.
Pretty much, yeah.
I mean, you know,
that's wrestling, dude. We are not here without the fans. So how could we not listen to the fans? So, you know, you give them what they want. For the most part, you give them what they want. You can't give them everything they want, but you do your best.
I mean, and sometimes, you know, it's best to do a slow burn and not give them what they want too soon.
No,
you know?
It's like a TV show. You should treat it like a TV show. If a TV show gave you every single plot point in the first episode, why would you come back for the second one? You already know everything, you know? You kind of got everything. Lead them on. Give them more.
So, if you could only be one, would you rather be great in the ring or great on the mic?
So the athletic side of me wants to be great in the ring, but I understand how important it is to be great on the mic because if you want to be great in ring, you have people like Bret Hart, Kenny Omega. You could really pick any of the old school like Japan guys or any of the guys kind of in Japan right now where like, you know, it is highly coveted to be very skilled in the ring. Because you can tell stories in the ring as well. It's not just like doing cool moves.
Right.
But then you get guys that are like Stone Cold and The Rock and even Cena to an extent where like these dudes don't do crazy stuff in the ring, but they're going to talk you into that building and they build a connection with fans that way. So they're like two sides of the same coin. Man, I think I'm going to have to go with maybe on the mic. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you know, if you're great, you know, the ideal in the ideal world, you're both.
Yes.
But you know, if you're great on the mic, you can probably have better career longevity.
Yeah, because you don't have to focus on killing yourself every night. You know, doing the craziest shit. Like, geez Louise, like Kurt Angle is maybe like one of the best of that. Like he was an athletic freak, but you know, he had personality, so he can get away with like doing some maybe a little bit less, you know, in the ring. I think Kenny Omega is like the GOAT of that right now. I think he's very unsung hero. I know I mentioned him for like athleticism and like in ring greatness, but if people really stop and pay attention to like what he's doing, like when he was on top at AEW, when he was the champ, great, just cool promos, funny promos, interesting promos. And maybe he could like tone it down if he wanted to. We're still gonna love Kenny, you know.
Oh, for sure.
Sean is one of the best at that. Eddie, when he got a chance. Yeah, dude. Nah, the mic work is very, very needed.
Speed round.
Oh shit. Okay.
Leo Rush.
Quick and innovative. I know a lot of people who and this isn't a dig at anybody, but like I know a lot of people who try to do Leo Rush stuff because it's so innovative and so cool and so different and just so like not the regular like rhythm other wrestlers would go. So yeah, quick and innovative for sure.
Yeah. Quick, innovative, and precise.
Yes. I wish he got to show more of that while he was in WWE. But he's one of the guys that got really good on the mic in WWE and didn't have to do much, you know?
Right.
He got to just stay on the mic and probably get a pretty paycheck while he was doing it too, so without having to kill himself. So good for him.
So do you have a preference between working heel or baby?
Dude, I go back and forth on that all the time. If you can't tell from this interview, I am so indecisive. I go back and forth on so many things. Because like when you're heel, you can just like let loose. Like you can just be a demon to some extent. Yeah. Because I do like fucking around with fans. Like, I don't know. I like fucking around with fans. It's so funny. But also when you're babyface, you like sell merch more. You sell a lot more merch for the most part. And you get to do a lot more cooler things in the ring. And I am a proponent of that. I love doing cool stuff in the ring. So babyface is really cool. At the moment right now, I'm going to have to say probably baby. Yeah.
Gotcha. You know, it's funny. as a fan, I have always gravitated more toward the heels.
I can see the shirt you're wearing. Yeah.
Yeah. I just, I just, I've always found the heels to be more compelling characters.
Yeah, for the most part. I mean, I feel like the older people get, I feel like the more you're able to like dig deeper into heels. And I do think some people find more than what is really there.
Yeah.
But I've done like a 180 on that. Grew up loving baby faces, got older, started loving heels, hence Bullet Club. But now I'm kind of liking baby faces more, like John Cena's whole comeback, Jey Uso.
Yeah.
Like the list goes on and on, dude.
Jey Uso is on fire right now.
Yeah, dude.
I mean,
I'm so
the crowd
so
reaction
happy.
that guy gets is just out of this world.
Otherworldly, dude. Otherworldly. But like that's cool. But like he's one of those baby faces where he's compelling because we've watched him every step of the way for the last over a decade now. And you've seen the transformation. You've seen him go through these different things that would change a person, in real life. It's easy to relate to. And to see him getting a moment is super, 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 super cool. So cool.
Absolutely. So in terms of your in-ring work and your promos, who or what would you say are some of your influences? And when I say what, it can be pop culture, it can be anything. What has made you what you are in the ring?
Yeah, so for sure, it is an amalgamation of so many things. In wrestling, I'd say Jeff Hardy, of course, Shawn Michaels, and I'd be remiss to say Kenny Omega. Kenny Omega got me in ACH. They got me back into wrestling, watching their stuff. Like even outside of that, like a lot of video game stuff, a lot of fighting game stuff. King of Fighters is probably the biggest one. A lot of my like move names or like things I come up with are from that video game. I see something, I'm like, can I do that? Is that possible? Is that possible in real life? And I'll just go for it. So yeah, it's an amalgamation of both. Like, Spider-Man. Spider-Man's a big one. In terms of like the way he moves, he does a lot of lucha stuff. People wouldn't probably pick up on at first. King of Fighters, Terry Bogard and Rock Howard, if anyone knows who they are, stalwarts in the fighting game community. It's a mix of both. And Michael Jackson for sure, and The Weeknd. They just have like such a swag and like aura to them that you can only dream of replicating or getting a little bit of a taste of it. But yeah, it's a mix of a bunch of things.
Got you. So, do you have an all-time favorite match as a fan? A match that you can have watched it a million times and it just never gets old, and there's always some new little nugget you can pull from it.
Yeah, it is. Buddy. It is a tie between Lance Archer and Will Ospreay at the G1 in Dallas. I believe that was 2019. That was the first ever big wrestling show I've ever gone to for New Japan for the G1. Or it is Kenny Omega and the Young Bucks versus Matt Sydal, Kushida, and ACH in Ring of Honor trios match. Those two, those are like my comfort foods of wrestling. Those are the two matches that like really push me to want to do better and like reach for more and do more. Because like the 6-man match has like so much like personality, but it's full of so much cool athleticism and like innovative stuff and chaos. And that Lance Archer and Will Ospreay one is like a tale of like David versus Goliath. Will Ospreay just came up from the juniors. He's trying to prove himself in the heavyweight division, and he gets put against the biggest, like legit the biggest monster they have at the time. He's fighting through it, and he's showing so much heart, and there's so much athleticism. You'll see that's like a constant with me in wrestling, is I love the athleticism of it.
Oh yeah, same here.
Yeah, and so the Lance Archer and Will Ospreay one, I go back to that one probably the most out of everything, like once every few months, if not once every month.
Got you. So, and this can be present day or past. Who would be a dream opponent? Who would Danny Orion love to work?
Oh, dude, it's probably a tie between it's probably a tie between Kenny Omega and Shawn Michaels. Geez Louise, once again, Kenny got me back into wrestling. One of the first like real matches I saw in the indies online between him and ACH, and then that Ring of Honor one. And then Sean was just a consistent of my childhood. I mean, everybody's childhood really, any wrestling fandom. Yeah, like the way he's able to just draw everyone in and like work so smartly, so smart in the way that he wrestles. And you don't even realize it when you're a fan. And like some people, I'd say some wrestlers, even me sometimes, I don't catch things, but like I catch it afterwards. I'm like, holy, like he's really the GOAT.
Yeah.
He gets it on every single level. So like those two, 1000%.
Oh yeah, absolutely. So what is your favorite move? What is something you just really love doing? And on the flip side of that, is there a move that you won't do, or you would at least rather not do, and that can be giving or receiving?
Yeah. So a move, I guess I've had it since childhood, is doing a swanton. I love doing a swanton. It hurts like a motherfucker. It hurts so bad, but it's so cool. And it's a staple. Everyone knows what a swanton is. Everyone knows what a swanton is. So I love
Jeff
that.
Hardy.
I mean, Jeff Hardy, dude. Jeff Hardy. You call it a swanton before you call it anything else, you know?
Yeah.
So that one for sure, because it's linked to my childhood. And you know, I am a psycho crazy person. I am, some would call, a dumbass, and I will take pretty much anything. There's no limit. If I think a crowd would like it, I'll probably take it, you know?
Got you.
Yeah.
So you've been doing this long enough that I'm sure this applies. So what hurts right now?
Oh Jesus. Dude, oh my God. Right now it's
what doesn't hurt?
God, oh, that'd be easy. That's way easier. Dude, man, right now what hurts a lot is maybe my wrist, funny enough. Wrist, knees, just a little bit, and like the right side, like lower right side of my hip for some fucking reason. I don't fucking know why. Maybe I took something weird, but every once in a while the neck hurts a little bit, but you do a bunch of neck exercises enough, you'll get past it. But dude, wrist, knee, shin, hip, lower back, like you can point to me and it's probably hurting right now. You can point to any body part on me and it'll probably fucking hurt.
Gotcha. Well, what is the most significant injury that you've suffered either wrestling or training?
Oh, dude. Second month into being on a show, and I was practicing a triangle crossbody. So basically I ran from across the ring to the other corner, jumped up to the top rope, and jumped to the outside to somebody on a concrete floor. Once again, I'm an idiot. I'm a dumbass. I like doing things that could hurt me, and I just couldn't get it right. And then I was told, hey, one more time, last one, and I was like, fuck it. Did it? I overshot it, and I landed, and I tried to catch myself, and I just broke my wrist in like 3 different places in that moment. But I'm a dumbass, and I thought it was just jammed because like I've been injured before, so like it hurt, but I'm like, whatever, I get past it. I always get past it, and didn't get past it. It was broken, and that fucking sucked. Yeah,
no doubt. Yeah. So, what is your take on the role that social media is playing as a promotional tool for wrestling?
Dude, I assume you probably wouldn't even have known who I am if it wasn't for social media to some extent, right?
Exactly. Yeah. I mean,
there you go. Yeah, dude, like a bunch of bookings I'm getting outside the state, heck, even in the state. I get a lot of like, oh, dude, we saw your highlights, or like we saw your post, and like you're pretty sick. Like we want to bring you in. I'm using sick. No one's saying sick. I'm the only person in the world saying sick right now. But like they're like, hey, dude, you're doing some cool stuff. Like we want to bring you in. Or hey, can you send us this? Like we like this. Can you do this on our show? Like it's the majority, honestly. Like if you're a pro wrestler or wanting to get into pro wrestling and you want to make some waves, you want to do something, you have to have some type of social media. So it is so important. Like can't even put a like number on it, like how important it is. It is so important.
Absolutely. So knowing everything that you know at this point in your life, if you could give any advice to your younger self, what would it be?
Eat better. Eat better, man. It's taken me this long to get a somewhat decent looking body. Dude, hey, young Danny. The double quarter pounder with cheese is not as much protein and as good protein as you think it is, dog. The big box of Little Caesars you eat before every day before practice, it's not gonna do it, dog. You can lift as much as you want, young Danny. The nutrition has to be there. It would definitely be like eating better and taking care of my body in a more smart way. But I'm a dumbass. I didn't know anything about nutrition. I was like, oh, you eat the meat and you get big, and you lift weights and you get bigger. And I was just like, I had no semblance of nutrition. I was such a fucking idiot. But I was fit. I was fit and I was athletic. So I thought that, it carried me for a little bit. But then I'm like, oh, if you want people to like want you on their shows and people to care about you, you need to like look like a wrestler. And it took me a while to figure that out. So nutrition.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So do you have any pre-show traditions, any things you try to do consistently before you go through the curtain?
Absolutely. It starts from the morning of the show. I make it a point to go do a full body lift day. I go lift everything, go get everything, I stretch everything out. I eat a bigger breakfast with a bunch of veggies as much as I can in the morning, get a coffee in the morning. Go for like a 5-minute like silent walk. I turn off my phone, no headphones, no social media, none of that. Yeah, get to the show somewhat early so I can go train in the ring a little bit, like get some train is a big word. Like go get some cardio in, stretch, flip around, do what I need to get like loose and get my mind working. And then yeah. And then right before the curtain, I like to do a bunch of elevated push-ups. And if I can find somewhere to do some pull-ups, I'll go do that. If I can bench press somewhere, I'll go do that. And and by that time I'm ready to go out through the curtain. Oh, and spend like an hour wetting my hair so it's not like poofed out. Big rain buckets, big water buckets of water for my hair before the show.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So something that we've done in all of these that's just been kind of fun is we've let the current guest pose a question for the next guest.
Ooh, okay.
So my previous guest was a wrestler from South Florida, the Shogun Bruce Cross. He's right now being featured heavily in All Caribbean Wrestling.
Oh my God, I know that place. That's so cool. Okay.
Yeah. So the question that he posed, and I told him you were going to be the next guest, and it's not a question particular to you.
Yeah.
But the question that he posed is, what was the biggest challenge in getting your gimmick over?
Boy, some would say I'm still trying to get it over. Committing, just commitment, just to know that like, hey, there's going to be some trials and some errors and some failures with what I'm doing, but trust in the process. Like if I believe in this, I am a wrestling fan. I was a different type of wrestling fan back then. So if I like this, there's a chance some other people will like this. So just believing in your gut and just committing to it. Commit to whatever you got. Obviously, you're gonna have to like dip and dive and make changes where you can, but that's all a part of the process. So yeah, commit and trust your gut.
Gotcha. Well, since this is part of a series, do you have a question you would like to pose to the next guest? And I can go ahead and tell you the next guest is tomorrow night at 7 p.m.
Okay.
I've got a wrestler out of Detroit, Michigan, Jacob Braun.
Braun. Okay.
And like I said, it doesn't have to be anything particular to him, but but is there a question you would like to pose?
Okay. Ooh. Here's the problem with me is I like to make fun of too many things to the point to where people hate it, or I could be very serious. So we have decisions to make now is what I'm grappling with right now. Ooh, how serious do we want to get? Do a lot of people take this serious?
Some people do, some people don't. It doesn't really matter to me. And you know, if you can't come up with something right now, you can always DM me.
Okay.
So, I mean,
okay, let's go with.
Okay.
This is going to be so stupid, and I hope to God it's not niche. Who is your favorite Super Smash Brothers character?
Okay.
Favorite super, and why? And why? I would love to know that. I'm a big Smash Bros guy myself, so.
So how would you answer that question?
Oh, dude. Oh, Pit. Easy. Kid Icarus. That was actually I wanted my original wrestling name to be like something Icarus because I love it so much. I love Kid Icarus so much. In fact, I have like the logo tattooed on me right there. You see that little flex I just tried to do just now to show I'm not skinny?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, my newest gear that I got made, second newest gear that I got made, is based entirely off of Kid Icarus. So yeah, he's like an angel that flies. He fights for his goddess Palatina. And super old school game, super old school, like so old. But then he got like a remake in like 2011, I want to say 2012 maybe.
Mm-hmm.
And it like completely transformed the way like I thought about that character. He's so cool, so funny, so jovial, so happy, so bubbly, and he looks so cool. Looks so cool.
Well, I know there's a guy wrestling in TNA right now, Judas Icarus.
Yes.
Yeah.
So jealous. He figured it out. He figured out a goated name. I've actually met him before. He's so cool. What a cool dude. But he figured it out, dude. He beat me to the mother effing punch.
Yeah.
He gets it.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So we're getting toward the end of things now. So do you have any upcoming shows or anything at all that you'd like to give some hype to?
Yes. So in Texas right now, we are doing a very cool thing. We got some cool things going on. There is a promotion called New Texas. They're mainly based out of Houston, and they usually run out of Houston. But right now they're expanding, and one of the places they're expanding into is my current town, Austin, Texas. I believe it's called Bulls on Parade, and I'm facing a guy, a luchador, who you should absolutely get on your show. His name is Epidemius Jr. Super young kid, super talented. Has wrestled for some major companies in Mexico. So like he's the real deal. We've wrestled a couple of times. But I'm wrestling Epi. That will be February. We got to do some math here. 2 Sundays from the day that we record this. I believe that's the last week of February. And Inspire is running the week after in Austin as well. And I am in a triple threat ladder match against Ollie Summers and Delin Cavens. So yeah, at least for the month, that's what I got going on. And I will actually be in Tennessee for TWE, I believe March 22nd. So I'm looking forward to that.
Cool.
Yeah.
Very cool. Very cool. Well, as far as what we've got going, like I said, tomorrow night at 7 p.m. Eastern, I've got episode 84 with Detroit, Michigan's own Jacob Braun. And then this next Monday, the 17th at 8 p.m. Eastern, I've got episode 85 with a guy out of Utah, Alex V. And he's being heavily featured on Dive Pro Wrestling. And I've actually had their promoter on previously, and Utah really has a really sparkling indie scene right now.
I'm gonna have to get out there. Yeah, man. I'm gonna look that up as soon as we're done here. I'm gonna go look that up.
Yeah, there's a lot of good stuff going on in Utah. And then on next Tuesday, the 18th at 7, I've got a guy named Drake Holloway, who he actually just finished training at Black and Brave out in Davenport, Iowa.
Yeah,
you know, training under Merrick Brave and Seth Rollins.
Yeah, dude.
So anyway, that's what's coming up here in the next week, and I'm actually booked up now through the first week of April.
So cool.
So I mean, this thing is just really taking on a life of its own, and I'm just having a blast, man.
Dude, happy for you, dude. This is so fun. This is one of the most like easy podcasts I've ever done in my life. This was so fun. I would come back a million times over.
Well,
absolutely.
Know that you are now part of the Throwdown family, and
Let's go, Throwdown fam.
You've got a standing invitation to come back anytime you want.
Absolutely, dude.
But man, thank you for your time, and for those of you that have been watching this live, thank you for that.
Thank you.
For those of you that'll be seeing this on replays and on clips and such, thank you for that. If you like what we've got going here, do the old like, comment, share, and subscribe.
There you go.
Spread the word. And like I said, I'll be back tomorrow night at 7 with Jacob Braun. And until then, be good to each other, love each other, and keep throwing down.